On everyone. So today is a big game for a multitude of reasons. One, it's the first game of a back-to-back. Secondly, trying to get as many games over 500 as possible. If we win this game, that would put us at 9-6 on the season. Continue building on this win streak, continuing to build on this team, continuing to head in a positive direction. LeBron James is coming off of just a super heroic type performance in which we were able to squeeze out a win against the Houston Rockets. It wasn't the best win, but it's still a win. You got to enjoy it. And now we are at home. We have been excellent at home and taking on the Utah Jazz. Another big thing is this locks us in as the number one seed for the in-season tournament if the Lakers manage to pull off this win against the Utah Jazz. It's very important to get this win, stay undefeated in the in-season tournament. So we have a couple things in our favor. One, Utah is not very good this year. They are a very beatable team, but they've given us trouble in the past. Like last year even, they gave us a lot of trouble. For whatever reason, they love to show up. I mean, every team loves to show up against the Lakers, right? Every team loves to try to outdo the Lakers. And so Utah's going to bring their best game, right? They're 4-9 on the season. They believe that they're better. They are going to want to be the first team also to spoil the Lakers' undefeated in-season tournament campaign here. And the Lakers need to make sure that they show up. Now, when it comes to the in-season tournament games, the Lakers have done a really good job bringing that effort and energy, right? Like if you look at the in-season tournament games compared to like just the regular games, the Lakers are almost night and day in a lot of ways. I mean, they're still having their struggles and stuff, and they still have their moments. But for the most part, the energy, the intensity, guys seem to really kind of take it more serious. The effort is there more than just a normal game. Now, obviously, there's extra incentive, so that makes a little sense. I mean, I wish every game at this point was an in-season tournament game, because then maybe the Lakers would kind of pick it up and ramp it up. It does kind of, and this is a point that I haven't really brought up that I think is worth at least touching on real quick, is at least with the in-season tournament and seeing the Lakers kind of turn it up a notch, that gives me some excitement for the playoffs, because the playoffs will be basically an upgraded version of the in-season tournament. And if the Lakers are kind of just putting it out there in those games, I can only imagine how much effort and energy they will come a playoff game. Now, again, it sucks that that's kind of something that has to be even talked about, that like, hey, you got to have a huge game in order to show up. But it does kind of give me some solace for the upcoming playoffs when we get there, which I fully believe the Lakers will get there. But the Utah Jazz are coming off of a 2-game losing streak and just lost to the Phoenix Suns in what many deem as a controversial loss. It was a double overtime game. Lauri Markkanen got fouled. They overturned the foul. So you're going to have a very motivated Utah Jazz team. You're going to have a team that's going to want to kind of right the ship and bounce back after that loss. Now, as far as the in-season tournament seeding goes, again, if the Lakers win this game, then they would have locked up the 1 seed. If they lose this game, then there's still a very good chance, very high chance, that the Lakers would still end up being the team that comes out of the Group A, just because of the way that tiebreakers and stuff like that go in the in-season tournament. So the tiebreaker rules are head-to-head in the group records, head-to-head records in the group stage, and then it follows that by point differential, and then it goes total points, and then prior regular season record. But the Lakers are very far ahead right now in total point differential, and a lot of it is because they just blew out the Memphis Grizzlies, and then also the Portland Trailblazers got those 2 wins in a reasonable fashion, and then also beating the Phoenix Suns. Utah Jazz are kind of like the last team, but if the Lakers were to finish, say, 3-1, and Utah finished 3-1, and then Phoenix finished 3-1, there could be some issues. There could be, because right now Phoenix especially is 1-1. So if you end up getting into where you have to go to tiebreakers, Are currently at a plus 42 point differential, where the Utah Jazz are currently sitting at a plus 19 point differential. So as long as the Lakers don't get like blown out, and it's a close game, as long as they lose, then there's still a very good chance, depending on how everything plays out and falls out, that the Lakers would end up with the 1 seed. Again, we will see. Time will tell. We still got a couple games left in that regard, but you got to start with Utah, right? More than anything, obviously, I'd like to win the in-season tournament. That would be great, but I want us to start gaining some momentum, right? Start getting further ahead in the standings. Right now, we are the 6th seed in the Western Conference, but we're only 2.5 games out of first place, and we're only like 2 games out of second and third, and we're like a game out of 4th place, right? Mavs coming up tomorrow. If we end up beating the Mavs, then that would give us a full game on them, and now all of a sudden we are basically fighting anywhere from like the 3 to or I guess technically the 2 to the 5 seed. That's where I want the Lakers to be, right? Talked about it in the offseason, that I didn't really think the Lakers were going to get the number 1 seed, that I didn't really think the Lakers would really care, right? Like, you're going to get LeBron and AD missing 20-plus games this year. I think that they're going to care more about getting healthy, getting into the playoffs healthy, and that'll be priority numero uno. But I did think the Lakers would be somewhere in that like 2 to 5 range, which if the Lakers, again, get this Utah win, then that would put them at 9-6. Get the Dallas win, then you're basically in 5th place because Sacramento has beaten us twice, right? But again, if Sacramento loses some games, they're coming off of a 1-game losing streak. We could kind of be back and forth with Sacramento and the Lakers, and we'd have 2 more games to kind of catch them as far as the seeding goes, especially if we're very similar. So we have to continue to pull out our strides, continue to do what we need to do on both sides of the basketball. We need guys to step up. We can't be reliant solely on LeBron James to basically pull off some heroics, right? We're so reliant on LeBron James just being Houdini and just going out there and fixing and saving us and doing everything that he can and just closing down the stretch and all that stuff. It's wonderful that LeBron James is still able to do what he's able to do. It is a blessing, right, that he is doing what he's able to do. But he shouldn't have to as regularly as he is. It's one thing if he has to do it occasionally or on a certain game or whatever. Fine, I get that. But outside of the occasional game, we need Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Christian Wood, all of these guys to be more consistent. Right? Austin Reeves had a great game against Houston. But the problem is, what does he look like against Utah? Is it another great game or is it going to be a bad game? Right? D'Lo had a really nice stretch. And then, boom, started falling off. Right? It's like, can we get some consistency? Can we get D'Lo and Reeves? Can we get a good game from both of them in the same game? Right? Like, that would be nice. We've gotten like 1 game like that this year, and it wasn't even like a great game from both of them. It was just like a solid game from both of them, right? Like, that was what made us so great last year. It was like D'Lo and Reeves both giving you like 15. They're basically collectively combining for 30 points. And it took pressure off LeBron, and LeBron didn't have to be so great, right? Like, we need that. LeBron shouldn't have to be playing 40 minutes a game and dropping 40 points for us just to win by 1, right? Houston has been a very good team. They look very solid, right? They before they went and played the Clippers, and it took a James Harden heroic miracle step back foul 3 for them to beat Houston. And before that, they were on a 6-game winning streak and playing some of the best basketball in the league, right? So they're a very good team, but that game should have been won by a much larger margin. Got to stop with these slow first quarters, right? We need Utah not to start off with a 15 to 20 point lead. we should be the team doing that. We got to get established early. We got to get going and go get this win, stay undefeated in the in-season tournament, right? Because then at that point, if we win today, then like I said, we're guaranteed the number one. Because even if like we lose to, I think we play Utah one more time, if I'm not mistaken, or we have like I think one or two more games, we would have beaten everybody once. So, and we would have the point differential number. So we'd be good. You win this, you don't have to worry about it, right? So get this done. Got the back-to-back against the Mavs, right? Let's go win that Mavs game. Let's get it done. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that this is a very important game? How do you feel? What your thoughts are? I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below.